Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Hitakiri Singh. Glad you could join me today. I love the way that palico looks when it's waving. Anyways, today we're going to do a little bit of a correction video on our Master Rank 24 build. It's just not attainable with the charm I used and the regen skill. And I want to start off by saying thank you to my subscribers, viewers, commenters. You pointed that out to me in a couple of different videos, not that specifically, but just some things that made me need to make some corrections. Some things were minor, and I just, fixed it in the notes. But I realized that Master Rank 24 build is just unattainable, and that bothered me. I realized that at like midnight the other night, and I mean, I didn't lose sleep over it or anything, but it kept me up for like an hour or two because I was like, man, like I want to fix this. And then I started working on it yesterday, but it just took me a little bit of time. But I want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. I really like this part of having a YouTube channel. I like putting stuff out there, but I love the feedback. I love, even if I'm proven wrong, it makes me think and redo some things, stuff like that. I don't care about that stuff. Of course, I love the positive feedback too. Thank you very much for all of that. But I don't know. That's kind of why I feel like this is like our channel, and please feel free to have any of these conversations. I really do enjoy this kind of stuff, and of course it's always helpful for the channel. But anyways, let's get into this build video. It's going to be a very similar set to what we just did. I'm just going to tweak a few things, and we're going to go from there. I might not get into all the information we discussed in that Master Rank 24 video, so if you haven't seen that one, please watch that. I will link that to the comments and a few other videos and playlists that if you like this tutorial, you'll probably like the other ones as well, anyways, okay, so we're going to still use our light break edge. We're going to still use a challenger charm, but I'm just going to, mine's maxed out at 5, but we're just going to assume that's challenger 3. I know for sure you can get challenger 3 by Master Rank 24. I think you can get challenger 4, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to count that as 3. We're going to use our temporal and glider mantles for their synergy together and creating the battle flow that we want, and I'll talk about that in a second. Then we got 3 pieces of the Master Rank Teostra Kaiser Crown, the Vembraces, the coils, the waist, the arms, the head, and 2 pieces of the Raging Brachydios Mail and the Greaves, the chest and the Greaves, and of course the weapon is from him too, so you only have to farm those 2 monsters to get this. And the skills that we're going to be highlighting in here is Master's Touch and Agitator Secret. Agitator Secret gets your Agitator to level 7, one of the best attack boosts in the game. Master's Touch prevents you from losing your purple sharpness on your weapon every time you hit a critical hit, and we're going to be doing pretty much nothing but criticals. So we'll always have our purple sharpness, and the reason purple sharpness is important, guys, is it's your normal white sharpness does a certain amount of damage, and then purple sharpness does 1.05%. So like basically 5% more damage than the purple, than the white. And some people don't see that as very significant, but I personally feel that's very significant. Anytime you have damage that's increasing in percentages, like your critical boost going from 25% to 40% with 3 criticals, and this increasing by 5%, I think that's much more significant than adding an extra attack that increases like 3 damage, and I don't know, I see it in the gameplay. When I do certain skill setups rather than things like that, I just see bigger numbers popping up off the screen. Anyways, let's get into the decos. Okay, so we're assuming that our agitator charm is... Oh no, this is the wrong build, sorry. That's the optimized version, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Let's go ahead and do the Master Rank 24 version. Come on. There we go. There we go. Same pieces of armor, same pieces of equipment, still including the agitator as 3, just imagining it as 3, okay? That's where I needed to go. So, you basically have 2 pieces of agitator. I don't know if I mentioned this. All right, each piece of equipment, latent power, critical eye, 2 of them. Latent power activates either 3 minutes into the fight or when you receive 180 damage, whichever condition you meet first. And at level 1, you get a plus, nope, that's agitator. Oh, anyways, you get a plus 10 affinity boost when that happens. And then you got 2 levels of agitator on the chest piece. You have a weakness exploit and a heat guard on your braces. You have 2 blast attack here on your waist, and you have 2 weakness exploit to complete your 3 weakness exploit there. Okay, so let's say we got 3 agitator in our charm. This is going to give us 5. This is going to give us 7. I actually... Oh, no. Wrong build. Sorry. I'm not doing that. I did my Master's Charm. Okay, so your Master's Charm, I know you can get for sure to level 4. That's going to give you 4 levels of Crit Eye. So we got 4 levels of Crit Eye in the Charm, and we got 2 levels of Crit Eye in the Kaiser Crown. So that's 6, and so mine's already maxed out, but I just put this extra expert jewel right here to designate this is what you would do at Master Rank 24. My apologies too, I'm just kind of out of touch with Master Rank 24. I just overlooked a lot of these things, like the health regen on the weapon couldn't be achieved until Master Rank 100, so forgive me for that. My end game stuff is going to be much more on point, but some of this early game stuff that people have been requesting, I might slip up here and there, but I'll get it right. Don't worry about that. I want to bring a certain level of quality of gaming and information to you guys. And when I personally feel that I'm not doing it, I'll drop a video like that. You know, I don't care. I will. You know, I made a whole video on Sunday, and I spent like most of the day doing it. And I put it out there, and I still had my health regen on there, and one of my first comments was, you don't get health regen until you get the coral regen to level 7, which you can't do till Master Rank 100. I immediately brought that video down, so kind of wasted the day, but it's more of a personal thing. I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to get you good information. Sorry for rambling there. Anyway, so your Crit Eye is going to be maxed out with that. Your Challenger is going to be maxed out with these 2 Challenger 4s, which are Rarity 11 jewels, and I posted a video that has the 2 best early game farms. One you can do at Master Rank 3, the other at Master Rank 24, and you can get up to Rarity 11 gems by the boatload, and even some Rarity 12s, but I'm not going to include any Rarity 12s. I don't even have the Expert 4 that we had, the free one that we get, because you don't need it with the Master's Charm. You get your Shaver, of course. You got to have your Shaver. You got to tenderize these parts so you can get that affinity to 100%. You're going to have all your level 2 slots are going to be criticals, and this level 3 is going to be a critical here, so you've got maxed out critical boost, doing 40% more damage on your criticals. Normally it just does 25% more. All my level 1 slots are vitality. I just don't have any good combo vitality jewels. I just melded them all off when I got my Fatalis stuff, so some of this can be variable. If you have some good combo jewels, like a critical vitality, and you want to use some of those and just make these attack jewels instead, you know, you can have some flexibility with that. Okay, and then I'm going to have 3 jumping attacks, which are by far 1A and 1B as the best defensive skills in the game, are jumping, evade extender, and evade window. Don't really need evade window. You can do your foresight slashes without it, but 3 jumping attacks to give you max evade extender is probably the best defensive skills that at Master Rank 24 you could have. I go into Master Rank, the previous video and some other videos. Guys, things like Divine Blessing are great, and earplugs are great if you need them for certain fights and stuff like that. Defense boost is useless. But these things all are outdone by a lot if you can just evade monster attacks. What's always better than skills that reduce damage are skills that help you evade and miss, not take damage in the first place. Lets you stay in control of the fight, lets you punish better, lets you just, you know, be in charge instead of being on your ass, basically, you know. Alright, anyways, that's the build. You're gonna have Crit Eye 7, Agitator 6, Attack Boost 4, Health Boost maxed out, Crit Boost maxed out, Weakness Exploit maxed out. Weakness Exploit, by the way, guys, very important. Once you tenderize a monster part at level 3, you get 30% affinity if it's just a normal weak spot. You get 20% more, 50% more affinity on a part that you have wounded. You wound their face and legs, you're getting 95% affinity when they're not enraged, 115% affinity when they are. 2 attack jewels here in your temporal, and then we're going to have a destroyer maintenance and a challenger maintenance. This just completes your max challenger when you're wearing your glider mantle, and your destroyer is just to help you know, break some parts, things like that. I know you guys are going to be farming a lot of parts. And then we got 2 maintenance jewels, because these 2 maintenance jewels by themselves, just in the mantle, because you wear this for a duration of 3 minutes, minutes. What this does is shorten by 20% the time of the temporal mantle. The temporal mantle is a 5-minute recharge. Minus 20% reduction from having this is now a 4-minute recharge. So you can wear this glider mantle for 3 minutes, and then a minute after it wears off, you can switch into temporal instead of 2 minutes, which comes in really handy because the transition between your glider and your temporal mantle, to me, is the most important transition in the game between mantles, and the best mantle setup you could possibly have for almost anything except for something wind-based like Kushala or Behemoth, you know? Because with those monsters, you get pushed back even if you're just wearing the glider mantle, not just jumping with it just by wearing it. So you want your rock steady or something like that. But for almost anything else, I use my temporal to create flint shots. They pretty much guarantee flint shots into the wall, and then I use my glider mantle to dictate when I want to mount them by using my aerial attacks off my clutch claw on them, and I always try to mount them when they're enraged. So it creates really good situations for yourself. So this build, you know, is a little squishy. You're definitely going to have to play defensive and evasive, but I'm going to show you that in the video. You know how we do. We do the description, and then I show that set in action so you see how it works. That's coming up next in here in just a second. But again, the previous video I had much more detail on some of these skills, so please watch that. It's worth watching. The optimal builds are correct in that, in case you want to take those builds and make them at Master Rank 100. Just the Master Rank 24 one just had some overlooks that I wanted to replace with this build here. And just so you guys know, I do have some things in the works. We have how to build defensive video coming up. We have an Arch-Temper Valkana guide that's coming up, and we're also going to have a Alatreon guide. I had that by request, but just give me some time for that one since I just got that request and I have no work done on that. What I like to do is figure out a build I feel is going to be the best build for Alatreon, and then do a video on that, and then showing the guide with Alatreon, you know? So that'll just take some time. Got some stuff coming up in Tekken as well. We got Tekken is Life, and we got some streams coming. So keep watching for all my Tekken and Monster Hunter fans and Street Fighter fans. When Akuma drops, I'm learning him. I'm showing you everything I can. I'm figuring out max damage combos. I'm posting videos, all that good stuff. So Shadow of the Erdtree fans, Elden Ring fans, I'll be all over that. I might even do a little streaming of Elden Ring here and there, something like that, just to throw in a curveball or something like that. A lot of stuff coming down the pipelines. Thank you for bearing with me as I yap away, and here comes the video showing this build. Alright, and we're going to start off our fight like we normally do by building up our weapon on some endemic life. You don't have to do this, I just do it so I'm in the red. And I want to explain why I always just fight a Namielle. He's actually a pretty tough fight for a longsword user because he has several wave attacks and electric attacks that last long enough that if you do a foresight slash, it'll actually hit you out of it. It's one of the reasons I've mentioned before that you might want evade window 5 on some monsters, but I don't really need it on him, but it could come in handy. But he also is one of those rare monsters that when he's enraged, he actually takes less damage instead of more. Even if you didn't use agitator, just as a mechanic, monsters take more damage in rage, but he does not. And he's absolutely beautiful. And he's considered one of the harder Elder Dragons to fight, so that's kind of why I gauge everything. Alright, as per usual, we're going to jump off our Raider mount to get that first hit. That's going to build some multipliers of doing a mount later when he's enraged. And we're going to go ahead and soften his arms, and then we're going to soften his head, and immediately do a flint shot. As long as the monster is not enraged, guys, this is what you're always doing. Before any attacks, before anything like that, you're softening and you're banging them into the wall. And now we're going to recharge our blade. Again, if I could do a Helm Splitter, I don't want to. I don't want to get too much damage because then for sure he's going to get enraged. But sometimes, as in this situation, he won't get enraged right away. And we're just going to flint shot him right back against the wall. And these flint shots do, you know, 600-700 damage when they hit the wall, so they're not small amounts of damage. So you don't always have to be swinging your weapon away on these monsters. You know, have a plan on how you want to beat them and use the game mechanics to do it. Boom, 600 something. And now we're going to get a nice, full level, clean Helm Splitter, you know. Just pure damage right to the head, helping build up those knockdown modifiers to get enough head damage. You get enough head damage, you're automatically going to cause them to collapse and get some free damage, you know. Alright, now he's enraged, so I'm going to put on my glider mantle, and let's start doing some aerial hits because we want to mount him. It doesn't take too many hits as your first mount, although this time it took me 3 or 4, but usually if I get that mount hit from my Raider mount, usually the second one gives me the mount, but I didn't get it this time. Oh, this time I didn't get it because he was in that exhaust animation. That's why I didn't get it. So now I know the next time I hit him, I'm going to mount him. My meter is full. But also notice, pay close attention in these fights on how I use my rolls. I'm using my rolls to get in close. I'm using my rolls as defensive measures. Boom, got that helm splitter. And now I want to mount him because he's enraged. And if I mount him when he's enraged, I'm using up that timer that he's enraged. And I can turn the tables on him and do a bunch of damage on him instead of him doing his most devastating attacks on me. So that's that, again, that cyclical nature of the mantles, temporal and glider, and how they the transition of them is very important based on what the monsters are doing. And this creates huge damage in the beginning. And makes quick work of these monsters by doing this. By flint-shotting and doing the mounts alone, you're causing enough knockdowns to make quick work of these monsters. And you start building in some other things like head knockdowns and so forth. Boom, big damage again. And look at those stuns that's being caused by the damage. You know, that's some of the things we mentioned before. Offense is defense. If you can hurt them enough, you're going to get staggers and claggers and knockdowns. Another reason the glider mantle is so great, you can use the terrain to get airborne, do some big aerial attacks, which are always high damage for you. And for the longsword, you use it to go into your combo, get recharged. He gets another stun, boom, another free helm splitter, you know. Rolling around, see, I'm using my rolls for positioning, and a little later I'll get in some defensive problems. Oh, his agitation ran out. So I was going to flint shot him, but I didn't have a pod. So again, he's not agitated. Then there's nothing else to do but make sure his head's softened and flint shot him back into the wall. Get your free damage on the head again, and start the cycle again. You know. Charged up my weapon. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a, I was thinking this as I was doing this fight, I'm going to do a little bit of a foresight slash tutorial here a little later to show you guys how you can start timing those out. Your foresight slashes, they cancel out the recovery animations of most of your moves. So they can be done quickly and instantly after you do another move. Let's say you do a sheath triangle attack, that 2-hit one. You can immediately go into a foresight slash after that. You can immediately go into a foresight slash after almost anything you do. And that's going to come up a little later in this fight. So I think right now I'm just building up some more aerial hits, building up some more meter. He's about to fly off. You know, they take a certain amount of damage, and they're just like, nope, I'm done. And then I take my time here to go ahead and get everything else I need. I got some rocks for when I want to flint shot him again. I buff up, I heal, I get rid of my ailments, all that kind of stuff. You know, use my buffs, my seeds, my might seed, and my armor seed, or I forgot what it's called, my armor spell or shell. Yeah, those things, demon powder, all that stuff. Those two stack with each other, the seeds and the powders. So buff up with that, you get some more offense, some more defense. You need it. You know, I'm going to need to heal throughout this fight. You're going to watch me do that as this fight has been progressing. Anytime you see me go at about 50% health, I'm doing something to heal pretty quickly, you know. Right here, getting my heals in. I rolled away from him too, so I got my distance from my maxed evade extender. See, now I rolled to him to avoid his water attack. Nice. Helm splitter over his big attack. That roll got me away. So that's what I mean about these rolls. They're not just defensive, they're also very good to get in positioning, very good to get out of the way, very good to you know, avoid one of his attacks, get behind him, I'm going to punish him, or, you know, not this time, but, you know, I just got my positioning right, so I could do this helm splitter, and curved right back onto his face. Beautiful, beautiful. He gets stunned, massive damage again, and now he's not agitated, so I'm like, okay, first thing I need to do is soften, because, you know, we got to keep the affinity up, so all our hits are critical, and we're not losing sharpness. My mantle's ready again, so I go ahead and use that instantly. And I'm pretty much using my mantles as soon as they become available. Sometimes I might not. And now I go for the flint shot because he was not agitated. Oh, and I miss. Actually, I missed this one. I missed the next one too, because you only get one shot now, because I tried it before and I hit him twice in the head, so you can only hit him a total of 3 times. So that first time, like when I started the fight, I tried to do a flint shot within 2 turns, so I at least have 1 turn left over, you know. That's about these rolls again, using the rolls to get out of the way. Foresight slash. Alright, this is where that foresight slash tutorial starts. I wanted to make a note, and I mentioned it before. You can literally do triangle circle like I'm doing right here over and over and over again infinitely. And I'm just doing it because I'm waiting to try to bait out that, a foresight slash. I missed here, but I'll do it again here in a second. Triangle circle, triangle circle. This is how you get good with the foresight slash. Just practice that for an entire fight, really. And then when they do something offensive, you're going to use your foresight slash, you know. This is going to be with some electricity coming up. See, triangle, circle, triangle, 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 circle, foresight slash. You know, it cancels out the animations of some moves, or some of those moves kind of have a pause at the end where you can kind of hold it for a second, and boom, foresight slash right after it. So if you want to start learning to get good with your foresight slash, just start practice coming in with your attacks with just the triangle and circle button, no R2 combos, anything like that. You don't need that, and just practice that, and I promise you, you'll pick it up within a fight or two. It's pretty easy. You just got to work on doing it a couple times so you can get the timing right. He was enraged, so I would switch to my glider mantle, and I went ahead and did the aerial hits to get my mount. So you're always going to get those 2 mounts, and you're going to get plenty of flint shots, and that's about it. You just use that mechanic. By the way, what I was saying about the foresight slash, I was thinking about doing like a practice room session tutorial about how to get good with the longsword. So maybe if you can leave in the comments some suggestion, or you know, just your thoughts on that opinion about that being a video that you might want to watch. Like I have this, what I call an infinite combo I like to do, and I think people would be probably interested in that. I think I did it sometime in here. Basically, well, no, I'll make a video about that. I was also thinking about doing a video about maybe perhaps doing a video about item layouts, or just the entire town of Celiana. You know, there's the melder, there's the smithy, there's the gardener, there's well, there's not much to do at the shop guy. There's you know, your cafeteria where you eat, and there's, you know, there's things to know about these places, like how to make your own custom meals, what they do, all the stuff, options in the melder stuff. Anyway, so if you think people might be interested in that, and you might be interested in that, I might make that as a video as well. Let's see. This is just a little bit longer fight than I normally have with this guy, because my damage is a bit lower with this Master Rank 24 set. You know, I've been showcasing these fights with much higher sets. But I'm pretty much doing the same things that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to use my rolls to get in, get out. You know, that was a little bit of both. I was going in on him. I saw him do that electric charge up, so I got out of there, you know. Anytime you need to heal or anything like that. Oh, he was not agitated, so of course, what am I going to do? Flint shot him. Anytime you need to heal, sharpen, anything like that, you can just use your rolls to get away. You have such a huge distance that you cover with that. There's not many attacks in the game that you cannot get away from with maybe 2 or 3 rolls. Perhaps like full screen attacks, of course, like Alatreon's Eschaton Judgment, or Behemoth attacks, or Safi'jiiva attacks, or maybe like Lunastra's Supernova. It just has a huge radius. So other than that, there's not a whole lot of stuff for you to fear. By doing 2 to 3 rolls, you're out of distance for anything most of these monsters can do. And again, he did not immediately get enraged after the first flint shot, so I just went ahead and got the other one, you know. And there hasn't been too many times I've been too defensive. I just paid attention to, oh, by the way, this is his most badass attack, and I can easily just foresight slash through it. So you get good enough with this weapon, pretty much anything that the monster can throw at you, you can just eliminate and negate with the foresight slash. But you know, for now, you early game players, you got the maximum evade extender to help you as well. So don't worry about panic rolling. You can roll wherever you want to. He's dead, by the way. He's going to sleep, and we're going to finish him off. I guess I'll go ahead and take a minute to say thank you for joining me. This video is going to be over. Well, no, there's a couple more minutes. I'll pause on that. Let's just talk about one more thing. Yeah, I was talking about your evade extender is going to save you in this build. This is what you use for defense. Make sure you have plenty of full potions, max potions, and ancient potions, and the ingredients to make both, so you can just always top up your health instantly rather than waiting on mega potions. You don't need to carry potions and honey and stuff like that. Just carry all those items and those craftable materials. We always end them with some bombs on the wall, and then Flint shot him. Usually he goes directly into that. Oh, I just mistimed it, so the bombs just did not go off. Or misspaced it, whatever. And we're going to finish him off here. But every video that I mentioned earlier in this one, I'm going to link into comments. I just wanted to add another comment. You know, I've always talking about, you know, hey you guys and stuff like that, but I always want to give recognition to the gamer women out there. They really do go through a lot, and just my call and my reminder for everyone to be good to each other and civil, and don't act like animals, basically. So other than that, we got some of those videos that I mentioned that are coming up again, so I won't repeat that. I just want to thank you for joining me, and as we watch this Namielle take his last breath with this foresight slash, I always like ending them with something nice, like a helm splitter or a foresight slash or the sheath attack R2. I don't know, it's very satisfying. I do my pose, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you for joining me again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch the other Master Rank 24 video. It will be fill in some of the gaps on some of the armor information, and I hope you throw me the same likes, comments that you have been lately, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this video as well. So be good to each other. Try to do some good in the world if you can. If you can't do that, just try not to do any evil. And have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya.